Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Summit 3 SEA Phase Number 2. It's time for our fourth and final winner bracket round 1 match. Winner of this will be into the top 4 of the winner bracket, and they will be well on their way to a potential trip here to Los Angeles to fight for $100,000 plus, actually already, I think, over $130,000, thanks to those of you who bought the compendium.
You're spot on there. And so far, LD, it's been some Pinoy dominance, you know. Rave, they made their way into the winner bracket semifinals, as did Mineski, and we're going to see Arcanys Gaming. They came through phase 1, but I got to say, this is a team with some punch. This is, to me, maybe an even stronger team than Mineski.
Yeah, they've now added Dave, I believe. Dave Belutif recently picked up carry player for them.
How do you pronounce his name? I'm
Dave,
curious.
Dave Belutif. Belutif? How?
WTF. It's a weird spelling, but that's.
Okay,
I like that. It sounded much more foreign and interesting.
What the fuck is not a? This is not a family-friendly name here.
Yeah, no. I like your pronunciation.
Trying to keep it PG.
That was very European of you.
Anyway, they're gonna be playing MVP Phoenix, and with that said, it is a best of 3. Let's get it underway. Game 1 has begun.
So, Arcanys Gaming have gone with the first pick. They're going to be on the dire side, banning out the Storm as well as a Batrider, Sniper, and Beastmaster banned out by MVP. Also a bit of a new roster on the MVP side. They're going to be playing with K Feeney, the new addition, the Australian player, going to be joining them in Korea. And then we've also got Febby, or currently tagged up as Ace of Spade, who's going to be also playing with this team now.
No Tinker ban. Yeah, Arcanys going to ban out that Storm Spirit as well as Batrider in the first phase. They'll go for the Troll here. Sniper also removed, and I think the kind of the surprise ban of the draft is this first phase ban on the Beastmaster. Now the Chen coming out from MVP Phoenix, along with the Axe, of course. As you mentioned, they have had a bit of a roster change now from the original MVP Phoenix lineup. They had a nice little peak at Starlighter season, I believe it was 11, season 11. And, well, since then, didn't quite achieve their goals. DAC was a train wreck, and they felt like they just had to make a change.
Yeah, and this was actually, I think, one of the changes which was not mentioned is that Nuts has actually replaced Reason as well. When the initial changes were made, it was kind of reported that Forev, as well as him, were going to be playing for the MVP 2 squad, but Reason no longer on either MVP squad. I don't know if this is an official change or not. Nuts used to play with the Hot 6 squad, but I believe he's going to be playing support now for Phoenix, and probably going to be his Chen that gets played here. Because that was, I think, one of the limitations of the old MVP squad. They didn't really have any jungle players, someone to kind of fill that role, and that's probably going to be Nuts, who's a Singaporean player over in Korea. They've diversified things, no longer going with that full Korean lineup, but adding some kind of experienced players in K Feeney, as well as Nuts.
Yeah, something had to change. I think that's the key point.
I agree on that.
It just, they did well, but they were not continuing to grow as a team. Witch Doctor will be the choice here for Arcanys. Great hero to punish the Chen tower dive. Good with the Troll if you want to push. Just a well-rounded pickup. Arcanys going to ban out the Lycan. Frankly, not a hero that has seen much love lately. We were seeing a decent amount of Lycan at DAC, primarily because we were seeing a lot of Secret. But nobody else really wants to pick the hero right now, and I suppose if you go for the Axe early, he's one of the best heroes to kind of shut down the Lycan. Could pave the way for that Chen Lycan push, but we'll see a lot of these pushing heroes removed. The Enigma also banned out. Then the two big counter pushers, the Earthshaker as well as the Sand King.
Now, looking at some of the stats around Arcanys, something very impressive that a lot of people may not realize quite how good this team actually is. Their overall win-loss record since playing official matches in kind of big tournaments is ridiculously good. They have 66 wins and 34 losses. They're almost getting 2 wins for every loss. Now they are playing in the SEA scene. They're playing in some competitions where they may have a weaker playing field compared to playing these big global international tournaments. They're not playing at your big DAC type events, but it definitely speaks to the fact that as far as SEA goes, they are one of the better teams. This to me is at least a top 3, maybe not top 3, but at least top 5 SEA team here. Just something that a lot of people maybe not realize because they're a slightly less familiar name. People think SEA Dota, they think First Departure, they think Mineski, they think your Malaysian squads, your former RNG Sports, your Titan. But Arcanys Gaming, this is a team to look out for.
Yeah, Queen of Pain the choice now. Strong lane controller. They don't really have much to lock a Queen of Pain down. Maybe a bash, a cast, but nothing reliable. Troll still, that said, generally can hold his own against pretty much anyone, even if it is the mighty Quap. Should still do okay in the lane. Arcanys now going to work on their third pick. Might not even be a troll mid. You never know. Could be the safe lane troll. Could even be that aggressive tri-lane, though we don't see it very often. Arcanys still, you know, to really tip their hand. Generally, when this troll comes off the board, we do see someone who really benefits from that battle trance.
For Arcanys, yeah, they've got plenty of kind of space to fit in some heroes with some good lockdown for a Queen of Pain. Already off the bat, I feel like this Witch Doctor second pick fits so well as a counter to Chen and Axe. If Axe is your solo offlane, which you kind of have to, you can't do dual lanes once you picked up the Chen. Maledict as a zoning spell just is fantastic against Axe. You combine that with a Troll. These two heroes alone can destroy an Axe in the offlane. And then Cask, once the Chen kind of comes online and starts looking to gank and push towers as Chen creeps, this is just the perfect time to be picking a Witch Doctor. Normally you'd go for your more standard supports, your Lion, your Skywrath, but this was a smart decision from Arcanys Gaming. And when they see this Queen of Pain, if they want to go for that extra bit of lockdown, they can easily do so. They can still fit that secondary support in like a Lion if they want to.
Yeah, with this pick, they'll kind of have to lay their cards on the table here. Up until now, it's been a pretty open-ended draft, but they'll need to show one of those cores, potentially a support. The support pool's starting to look pretty thin, though.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe an AA in the cards just to slow down the Chen, another good zoning support.
Yeah.
They're a little lacking on the D push here.
Could see AA being pretty strong.
Yeah, also, if you do have the AA Witch Doctor, this Axe is definitely getting nothing done. But they'll likely be holding their support card back. They go for their offlaner here, most likely in the Phoenix pick.
Wow.
The support Phoenix does not seem to be all that popular. No. Well, GoDz, MVP Phoenix may have some new players, but it seems like a similar approach. They love their push strats. At least they used to, and we'll go for another one here with the Drought Ranger.
Yeah, so this is going to be pretty potent here. The one concern I still feel is with the Axe, who's going to be very vulnerable in the laning stage if he's not getting much support. You're going to start looking to push down towers, and your Axe is going to be like, it's 50 minutes in, but I still am a long way away from a Blink Dagger, because Chen's going to be taking up the jungle. Axe is going to be able to, can only get what he can out of that lane, so he's going to be in for a rough time. Arcanys, if they want to pick another strong support to try and really zone the Axe, they can. Alternatively, they can get a bit greedy here as well, which is the other option. Tinker, well, say goodbye to your push.
Yeah, now they're pushing into Egg and the March. That is scary.
Yeah. So
at the same time, MVP Phoenix, and on paper these heroes do scale, but I feel like they struggle to deal with the Tinker. They have only the Axe who can hunt him. He is by no means the best hero to do it, and now you go back to the beginning of the draft. The Batrider ban, very standard. The Storm, a little less common. But these two bans in the first phase really set up for the Tinker pick. The one hero that could punish him is a Clockwork. But MVP Phoenix already have their offlaner,
yeah.
So
you need support, and supports that are good against Tinker, not too many. You could get like a Vengeful Spirit, not really a counter, but at least it has some ways of catching out the Tinker with the Wave of Terror over the trees, the swap.
I guess Visage could, in theory, hunt him with the familiars pretty well. That may be the other main option.
Yep. Well, Venge will get taken out, not just for the counter and the Tinker. I think also just good complementing the physical damage with the Drought Ranger.
All right, screw that. We're not going to try to hunt the Tinker later. We're going to punish him early. MVP Phoenix say that the game plan here is a lot of aggression.
So Arcanys last pick coming their way. Looking at most likely that secondary support depending on how the Phoenix is playing. Hoping it's that off-lane Phoenix. We get to see Bok on the Phoenix if that's the case. It feels fitting that the player called Bok is playing a Phoenix, you know?
Not quite a caw, but it's a bird-like noise for sure.
It suits him, the player, to the name. It matches up nicely.
At the same time, an offlane Phoenix is going to have a very tough time with the Skywrath Mage on the field. And Drow. Two ranged heroes with the silence. Yikes.
Well, Disruptor gets picked up, and that gives not really any additional counter push, but I think the Tinker alone, they're saying, look, Tinker's all the counter push we're going to need this game. Let's get some actual ganking potential, not to mention another great hero as far as pressuring the offlane, getting kills, and just keeping the Axe out of that lane.
All right. I feel like MVP Phoenix have to get a lot done in this first 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if it even goes to that point.
I'm liking what we're seeing from the Arcanys draft. I mean, right, I feel like just from those first 2 picks, the Witch Doctor in response to that Chen Axe, I'm just like, okay, they've won the draft. I mean, that was kind of too early to tell, but it just felt like they'd already kind of got an edge and had a clear plan in mind. And so we'll get things kind of underway here with our, of course, ceremonial pause to get things started.
Just to make sure that we have time to introduce the players. Very thoughtful. Here we go. Arcanys Dire Side, MVP Phoenix on the Radiant. We'll run through the lineups. It's Bach going to be playing your off-lane Phoenix. Will be a core Phoenix. Boombask. How do you say that? Boombax.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Do you have a correction for this one as well?
No. I just wanted to make fun of you for WTF.
Your Disruptor will be handled by Boombax. You've got D on the Witch Doctor. I refuse to say that name. Heinrich going to be playing the Tinker. It's Mighty Savior, and the safe lane is the Troll. As for MVP, Nut's going to be playing your Chen. K Phoenix on the Drow. It'll be QO on the Queen of Pain. Ace of Spades handling the Scarlet Mage. I didn't even know you could put that character in Dota 2, and it does leave March on the Axe.
Man, that is new for me as well. That's pretty cool.
I don't know, man. That's dangerous. Encouraging gambling.
What, or encouraging family-friendly card games, you know?
Oh, there's no such thing.
I've played family-friendly card games.
That's what you think.
Your
childhood is a lie.
You're right, I do think. I concur. Well, bottom bounty rune secured by Arcanys. Top lane, we're going to see Mighty Savior on that Troll getting pushed away. As that's going to be your mid-tinker. Boots first for him. Bit of an interesting little pickup there as far as the mid lane's concerned.
I like this. You're up against Skywrath Chen. They last picked the Skywrath. This is... It doesn't have to be a gank early on, but it's very likely to be pressure on that mid lane.
Yeah. And if you're confident in just being able to use the laser at the right time to help secure your first couple of last hits, not having that null talisman damage, you should be okay to play around. But there's going to be a block not quite in his favor.
Yeah, and it is a quap with pooled regen as well as the maximum possible intelligence here with the null tally, the triple Iron Branch. So not having the null tally and Tinker is going to put him at, what is that? We're looking at over a 10 damage deficit.
Yeah.
That is a big discrepancy to have to make up.
I think part of the plan is always going to be that Tinker has the catch-up potential of jungle stacks. You've got Disruptor already looking to start stacking the jungle on the Dire side. And that's going to be the kind of the general plan. Tinker, yeah, you can't farm ancient stacks, but farming that big camp jungle stack is just the same like a Shadow Fiend or whatever it may be can do so.
We're going to be forced to bring this Disruptor in, but it's right as QO actually dives into the tower. He's going to feed a quick first blood, and it goes the way of the Disruptor. Oh, man. Was not expecting the Raptor to make his way in. And, oh! The Chen Creep miraculously going to live with 7 HP. Looked like they'd get that as well.
Yeah, that would have been actually a pretty nice pickup. Like, that's another kind of 60, 70 gold and some good XP. Gets Disruptor, like, most of the way to level 2, but Tinker low on HP here. Only has a couple of tangos. Will probably get pulled one by Boombax. But QO, that is not the start he had in mind. Also, he's focused heavily on harassing, so it's not like he's even got any kind of a CS lead in mid lane. It's like, okay, he got killed, but he's out farming a Tinker. He's been focusing entirely on the laning and zoning out of Heinrich, but that kind of backfires now with that death. And well, we'll see Heinrich may even make a trip back to base if he feels like he doesn't want to go through these tangos.
Yeah, he's missing out on a lot of experience if he does, but at the same time, he's in critical HP territory. So your Disruptor will get a little bonus experience, a little me time in the mid lane, but it will slow down the Tinker a little
It's the
bit.
gank tax, you know. You gank the lane, you got to take some farm and a bit out of the lane, I guess, but get Boombax. I mean, even just getting him a fast level 3, get that second point in glimpse can be pretty nice. Although they will miss the next kind of the next pulse and well, the next stack timing, which is maybe a bit annoying for your Tinker.
As you mentioned, that Maledict can be really nice to zone out Axe. It was the skill choice here for Dave. We're not seeing the heal come out. And it looked like it could be a very push-heavy lineup early on with the Troll Witch Doctor, but as it turns out, they've gone in another direction. They don't really need this heal all that much.
Yeah. So, all in all, I feel like Arcanys, the lane setup is pretty strong. They're going to be able to handle the Axe pretty nicely at top, although assuming they don't actually let him get a call off on Witch Doctor, they're going to turn around, fight March at top with the Maledict. Mighty Savior going to do some good damage to the Whirling Axes. March is praying to Lord Gaben. Give me some spins. He gets the spin. Gets a kill. Goes down. Witch Doctor getting the kill with the Maledict, but still okay for your Axe, who at least gets a kill out of it. And the kill that he gave up went to the Witch Doctor as opposed to the Troll. That's kind of the good news.
Yeah, if he got one more, that could have gone either way. He gets one less spin, he gets neither kill, he gets one more. He may end up getting both with the troll on top of him. So close call there. Both directions, ends up kind of in the middle road. I suppose that it all works out in the end. Off lane, your Phoenix is up against the Skywrath Drow, but Bach has managed to get himself to level 3. He's honestly done quite well considering the matchup here.
Yeah, he's probably a pretty happy camper.
I think, like you said, I mean, that's just another case of it going surprisingly well here for Arcanys early on.
Yeah, they're looking to do all they can to help protect the Tinker mid lane. Neither mid lane are farming particularly well. They're going to see a Queen of Pain blink forward. And so that'll bait out at least a March of the Machines here with the Chen creeps continuously harassing Heinrich at mid.
It's like an endless parade of creeps into this middle lane. And, no, a Skywrath for good measure. But in spite of it all, Tinker yet to die. Still almost even in terms of last hits with that Queen of Pain. Though Heinrich is struggling to avoid the denies. Consistent trips back to base. He's about a half level down on the Queen of Pain.
He's likely to start farming this stack. I guess level 2 March not the best for this. But
big dive forward. Oh, now the Spirit's coming out. Bach, though, gets silenced, pushed on back. Phoenix tries to run, but he needs the backup. In comes your Skywrath Mage. They get one kill. They may even turn onto Boombacks. He's committed to Phoenix. We'll get the counter kill. There are a couple more Arcane Bolts available. Not enough to secure an additional frag, though, as he will back off in the end. QO in pursuit. Meanwhile, in the river, it's going to blink on to Heinrich. Very aggressive maneuver. There's a laser. He has gone March build, though. He's going to summon the March. The illusion starting to add up. QO, got to be careful here. He may even... Oh, not going to die, but he'll be very annoyed. He's not gotten a rune. The rune bottom already taken. The rune top also snagged by the Tinker, and it's going to be time for some Bottle Crow. This courier needs to head out towards mid.
Yeah. The one good thing is that Tinker is very under-leveled. He's been pushed out of the lane, so even if the CS is not... I mean, it's pretty advantageous for the Queen of Pain, that's for sure, actually. But Heinrich being level 4.5 only means he can't go farm that jungle stack as early as he'd like to. He ideally needs Soul Ring in level 6. Even just with Bottle and level 6, he could do it with the Rearm March, but right now, he's still just looking for that level 5, and Queen of Pain, a full level ahead, is going to go back to base and just about hit level 6 once you come back, kind of TP back to lane, hit the level 6, and may even look for a kill with someone like Walnuts on the Chen.
And good news for Heinrich, he does have a nice fat stack here already.
That's
what is that, a triple stack?
You know, I don't think I've ever seen
Actually, no, it's a quad, I believe. That's a quad
what
stack.
If, I feel like a really cool play a Chen could make is send this Wild Ring Ripper into the enemy jungle to steal that stack. You don't even have to send your hero. Yeah, you don't get the XP for it, but that... I feel like I've never seen a Chen do that, and it makes... It feels like a kind of play that makes total sense as something you should do.
Well, we did see the stacks being stolen yesterday. Oh, mid lane. Jump onto Heinrich. Gets off the laser. Shadow Strike going to tick him low. The blind about to wear off. And QO gets the kill. Makes his way out of here. Death for the Tinker. Who did we see? We saw
the Bat Rider.
Yeah, it was Bat Rider stole the enemy stack yesterday. So we have seen that type of play.
Bat Rider's like, I've seen Bone 7 do that a bit.
Fuck. That was awkward.
The TP mid dive. He'll get out. But yeah, it's one of the. It's a weird thing you can easily, especially a level 3 Chen. You have multiple creeps. He went mid and sent like a tornado just to harass. But like, if you find that Tinker's Queen of Pain had even scouted out the stack, so that's like an easy triple stack steal, and denies a ton of much needed farm for the Tinker. That's kind of Heinrich's catch-up mechanic right now. But
yeah, they also have the Axe, who could maybe look to grab it if they want to make a team rotation into that woods, but. Walking in there on your own with the X is a whole lot more dangerous. So as we head towards the mid game, 3 of MVP's cores on the top 4 in terms of CS, and on the back of that, they have constructed a decent lead here, about 1,000 gold lead, 1,500 experience lead, pretty hefty considering how the game began.
Yeah,
they're gonna maybe look for a dive here mid onto Phoenix. Uh-oh, time for a pause. That is awkward. Not a good position for Phoenix though. Well, he's already mid-cast animation on the kinetic field.
Yeah, your Skywrath Mage is nearby, but that's not exactly a counter-initiator as far as having any good stuns and anything to kind of play around with. So we're not going to see anything that he can really offer. And TP-wise, yeah, there's nothing. So this is most likely a kill. We could see the Skywrath look for that kill on probably the Phoenix as he tries to exit out of this bottom lane.
Yeah, has no Icarus dive. TP's on cooldown for 8. it's quite likely if Bach dies for this that he also dies in his own right.
They've got more than enough damage to kill KP, assuming they can get vision here. They've got.
Although the Disruptor hasn't earned, so there could be some nice earn plays to help keep that Phoenix.
If he uses the urn to like offensively try to get the kill on KP, but that's dive as well as the Fire Spirit burn. They don't need the urn damage. It just depends how quickly they want to try to get the kill. So, looking at where things stand here, Q are going to reconnect. He's not farming amazingly well. I guess he's 30 CS. He's up there with some of the top farmers, but it's still like 7 minutes in.
He's got Drow Aura. He got a lot of help from Chen.
Yeah.
Honestly, you expect more, I would say.
Yeah, he's seeing around like that 4 to 5 CS a minute, which is decent. It's contested farm, but it's much better than the Tinkers. So, end of the day, he's ahead of his counterpart, which is what he's meant to be doing when you're lane dominant like a Queen of Pain with a Drow Aura. Right. And Reconnect now comes in, and looks like Q is ready to go. KP is probably like, just leave it paused a bit longer. I like
savor your last few minutes on this earth, KP. Well, maybe not. He jukes into the trees, but they get off the Thunderstreak. Bach, though, left on an island. It's a 1-for-1. A safe lane Drow, who is level 6, but they snag the Phoenix as the offlaner as well. So Ace of Spades quickly closing in on his level 6. Already 5 and change. He's even level with that Phoenix, actually. But now, well, speaking of level 5 supports, we've got a Disruptor on the hunt. Has the Glimpse available. Oh, he gets fogged at the last second. That Thunderstrike wearing off. He loses vision right as he was about to cast. Close call there for your Skywrath Mage.
He gets off another offensive, and that'd be a kind of big play for a Disruptor to make to get a solo kill. Top lane, meanwhile, Phoenix, he's rotated up top, all over the map, this Phoenix. Kills the Axe.
Bach?
Bach.
Oh, triple bruisers chasing out Boomba, but he's able to just worm his way through the trees. And
these supports on both teams, the Disruptor on Arcanys and the Skywrath and MVP, are getting so much done. They're getting kills all around the map. They're getting lots of XP. Both of them close to level 6. Both of them pretty damn farmed for supports. Double null on your Skywrath. You've got earned boots and 700 gold on your Disruptor. This is not every day you see supports this farm.
Mech is coming soon for Nuts even. Already has the headdress, the buckler recipe, and chainmail. Just needs the mech recipe and a delivery, and he's ready to go. I think it's all 4 supports. Well, Witch Doctor's the one sad boy. Dabe, your boy, not having the best game.
He's struggling a bit, but we'll see the T1 tower bottom lane claimed by MVP. Dabe shows up. He wants to get what XP he can. Maybe even find a few CS, but it's going to be Phoenix kind of joining him down there to maybe look to kind of spoil his day and take some farm for himself. So Heinrich, Sol Ring, it looks like he farmed his stack. He's up to 43 CS, and the stack's gone missing, so can only assume that was him. He has hit level 8 now. Yeah, he's got a ton of XP. That would have been him farming that stack. And he's going to continue to stack.
Unfortunately, he's got golems and no more stacks to turn to, and still a ways off of his boots of travel.
I guess he's got the big camp. He's going to just alternate between the big camp and then, I guess, mid lane. But, yeah, he's still got a bit of a ways for the boots of travel. Still, I guess, the bottle soaring boots, you're not expecting, like, a 10-minute boots of travel. Like, anything from 12 to 14 is probably reasonable for him. And he is up there now.
March, where are you going, buddy? Static Storm to wait for him as Mighty Savior lays into him. The Skywrath Mage also arriving. Not level 6, though. He's close, but not quite there. They'll bash him and bring him down near Ace of Spades. Apparently not the trump card that MVP were hoping for.
Well, MVP got to be careful. March is really getting punished time and time again in the off lane. Just good magic damage with Maledict. Phoenix is one of the really good heroes I feel to have against Axe in general. Even if they don't lane against each other, just Axe. Magic damage is just one area where he's quite weak. And Troll, great at zoning out Axe as well. Even just because you can kind of kite him around, use the slow as well as the attack speed bonus you get from Fervor to really lay into him.
Axe is trying to bait here. He runs through the kinetic field, but
this is risky.
I don't know how well this is going to work. Oh, they do bait in the Supernova right as QO blinks in, hits the ulti on 3 heroes, but ends up going down. Now the egg to pop. They all retreat aside from that Disruptor. Pretty big kill considering how farmed he is, but looks like that's where it may end. Dabe now taking a silence. The cast bouncing nicely, though. Will they get that one extra bounce needed? No. Looks like March will be forced back. A dive forward.
Oh, misses.
Doesn't actually hit March, or that may have been another kill.
Yeah.
He's going to salve up, but it forces out this 5-hero rotation top, which means Tinker, the real winner, able to start pressuring the tower mid, and I think even more importantly, not die for a little while.
Yeah, he's having a nice little time there. The Phoenix getting a lot done as well during that fight. Kind of got a bit indecisive towards the end. Like on his second life, he's like, "Oh, do I go for the axe? Do I go for someone else?" And kind of split the damage up. Didn't get any kills, but did keep the rest of his team alive. So they kind of cut their losses here. Glimpse at top lane. They're going to catch the Chen.
This disruptor, Boomback's already 3-1 and 3. He wants more here, but he may end up going down. Chen with the big test of faith. Now Boomback's out of spells. Oh, gonna chase him down. Not enough for the kill though.
The mech just proving its worth there. Maybe something that Arcanys didn't scout out because MVP Nuts just held his ground and fought. That glimpse back was turned around on him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I found one. Oh, wait. He's got an army. Mascomanus has been picked up by K Phoenix now. Your troll does close in on a Yasha, and we may see Mighty Savior even walk himself towards the Roche pit sometime soon. I want to get these BOTs up on Tinker, and who wants to stop it? It's Ace of Spades, has the Mystic Flare. Oh, Heinrich, you don't want to stick around, my friend. Blink, scream, and dead. Sad, sad Tinker. Not been his game. 0 and 2. Just not really getting the space he needs, to be honest.
Yeah, and just a couple hundred away from the boots of travel when he dies there. That's painful stuff.
It's all just the game plan for MVP. It was very clear from the draft. They pick up the Skywrath last pick. Could have gone for a lot of different heroes, but they just went for the lane dominator. Yeah, nice against the Phoenix, but more than anything, just a general pressure hero around the map. That plus the Chen, it feels like it's been a 3v1 in this mid lane at times.
I guess Tinker may be struggling, but both Phoenix as well as Disrupt are getting a lot of levels, and I feel like can offer this team a lot. Phoenix is just about to pick up his Midas. He'll get his level 9 off of that, so he'll have max dive and fire spirits. Big damage potential coming out from him, and probably get a pretty reasonable time on his level 11 for the second point in Supernova. So, by all means, Arcanys still have their options as far as creating space for the Tinker and fighting around this stage of the game, even with Tinker kind of not battle ready. No boots of travel for him, and the Blink Dagger obviously going to be the afterthought of that boots of travel.
Yeah, once he gets the BOTs, it may just be one of those games where he disappears for a while his team just runs around creating space. Midas is out now as they go in onto March. Mystic Flare coming out though to punish this. A really nice placed egg. Well placed egg, I should say. Looks like it should pop on K Phoenix. Has the Mask of Madness on cooldown though. Bach doesn't want to commit to this one. A 1-for-1. Troll for an X. But considering that Troll was the most farmed here on Arcanys, you got to say MVP feel good about that. Plus, they take the tier 1 top lane. Their Chen mech. It's nice. QO closing in now on the Orchid.
Yeah, that's just doing really well here. Like, a lot of Chen's trying to emphasize too much, trying to gank and get kills. He emphasized, oh, glimpse back mid lane, Skywrath, you done for. Oh, it should be. One more right click. Okay. Get that extra spell to dive, but I was going to say, Chen's often emphasized too much ganking with their hero and creeps. He just focused more on farming while having one creep harass the mid lane. Like, he kept sending a Centaur or a Satyr, but he never really crippled his own farm while helping out the mid lane. And he's got to this point where he's got a really good timing on his mech. He's been able to push down multiple towers and help out his team a lot as a result of having the extra levels in farm.
BOTs are finally online for your Tinker. Pretty damn late, 14 minutes in, but with Tinker, better late than never definitely applies. A hero that can certainly catch up if given space, and outside of the Queen of Pain, they don't have heroes to hunt him. The Axe not even having picked up his own blink yet. Still not the best hero even once he gets it. Not a Clockwork, not a Batrider or a Storm, not that hero that can easily catch him out. But okay, Phoenix, we're on hill to walk up, my friend. Tags the Death Ward, tags that Static Storm as well. Arcanys, they make their move into the Radiant Woods, and it pays off. Now, looking to retreat out, they don't have the egg just yet, but it's going to be available soon. They're trying to cover for their troll in the pit. Don't think that that MVP realized this is happening, as they're busy finding kills. They bring down the Disruptor. Oh no! Mighty Savior has forced back. Egg is ready. And in the meantime, Heinrich trying to prep with some March of the Machines, but it's off on the other side of the engagement. Oh, the egg gets up on the high ground, pretty well placed. Not good enough, though. Not able to walk himself away. Actually burns down the axe from a long distance there.
I did not expect him to die. I guess that's just the power of these maxed out nukes.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Well, they get the axe kill. It does cost them the
Yeah,
troll.
the troll again dying, and that was...
I think the big thing, though, is they don't actually give up the Roche.
He got cold feet. He could have just stayed in there. I don't think it had been scouted out or recognized by MVP, but he's like, the fight's coming. If they do scout me out, I'm really screwed. So he decided to play it... Well, I mean, he wasn't really play it safe. It was decided to, like, poke his nose out and just give it up. It does put Roshan at a position where it's not so low that MVP can steal it for themselves. That's kind of where it was a bit safer than if he'd continued trying to kill it.
That is the big one, and they're going right back in. Yeah. Just scouting to make sure that it's not yet taken. Phoenix moving to position, Witch Doctor joining them. And your Troll lumbering down bottom. We're going to have another clash at this Roshan pit, potentially. Yep. MVP circling the water.
No Supernova. This is just not really the timing for Arcanys to fight. That's their big kind of playmaker and main damage output, it feels like, with Phoenix being level 11. Level 2 Supernova. That's a spell you definitely want to have if you're going to go for a Roche right now.
Well, if they wait, MVP are taking this one. Right. They walk back into the pit at the same time.
Both teams are smoked.
Both teams smoke, but one team is lacking a crucial hero. That Tinker, don't know if he can get in nice and close. Oh, Dave caught out first and foremost. The Witch Doctor going down. Now the Sunray into March. He's already, well, his Blink Dagger disabled. They'll glimpse him on back as Phoenix spins around with the Sunray blasting all over the place, but your damage already done. As Arcanys will give up the Aegis. MVP able to claim it. An Axe for a Witch Doctor. An Aegis taken. Well worth it. MVP starting to see some momentum here. Now up to a 3k gold lead, a 1500 experience lead, but I still think, GoDz, you look at the past 5 minutes or so, and the Tinker is not dying. Blink Dagger's coming soon. Heinrich is getting back into this game.
He's being very much left alone, and yeah, once he gets that Blink Dagger up, he'll be in a pretty good state. Axe himself is just underfarmed and kind of not getting enough done. He does have a Blink Dagger up March, but it really feels like just having a Blink Tranquils at this stage, he needs to already be working on his next item, his Blade Mail, whatever it may be, even if it's like the Ag Scepter, something just to make him a bit tankier, even just picking up like a casual cloak for the magic damage. March is going to be that key initiator who doesn't, he kind of lacks the follow-up there. There's always going to be that Mystic Flare to maybe burst down the hero he goes on, but it feels like every single time March is going to die. He's died 6 times this game, and that's something which probably is unlikely to change because they don't have that really good kind of defensive backup. There's not much crowd control. They've got the Chen heals, but the heals alone cannot really out-heal the damage output of Arcanys.
Yeah, they haven't been enough in the last fights. No reason to suspect that would change. Oh, MVP, they just smoked under a dire ward. They're still going to make their move, and you can see their sentry just a bit out of range. Waiting on the high ground is Mighty Savior. MVP, this is not where you want to jump. Most likely. They're going to head towards mid. No, they back off. They swing around. Troll Ultimate just used now. And they're looking for the jump in. They're going to call. Oh, Mighty Savior tanks the Mystic Flare. They saw the smoke. Maybe it ends up working out anyway for MVP. Death Ward a bouncing. March going to go down, but Dave will be the trade, a 2-for-1. Well, I guess who cares if the smoke is scouted? Works out well for the men again, but, well, glimpse, Static Storm. QO, the Aegis carrier, may lose that Aegis. A dive through. Is there going to be an egg? It's all the way back at the end of the dive. Doesn't really do a whole lot to MVP. They'll just scurry backwards. They lose their Aegis, but now with the egg on cooldown, the Troll and Witch Doctor dead, this is an opportunity for MVP to make their move. They want these Ancients, and by golly, GoDz, it looks like they'll get them.
Let's say probably can't really push ever into a Tinker, and even taking these Ancients, if Tinker comes near and gets some March Layers off, that's not going to be easy to do. Nuts is already very low, doesn't have Mecha or anything as well.
But say hello to QO. There's your Scream of Pain, followed up by a beautiful Sonic Wave, gets the frag there. Bach trying to force them away. Bit underwhelming, though. He does manage to drive them back for a few moments. Taker continuing to zone here. This is a big stack of gold. They cannot afford to let MVP claim this. Should MVP grab it, it's going to look more like a 5 to 6k gold lead.
Non-stop action around Roshan, around these Ancients. This has been a big point of contest for the MVP squad, and with good reason. They don't want to let this game drag too much. Heroes like Chen are going to fall off to some extent. Even Skyrath Mage much more about the early game and the mid-game dominance, so they're looking to make their mark known now rather than let this get to a late game with a Farm Tinker and even the Troll Warlord, who's going to be a pretty big late game threat.
Well, they better go soon. Creeps are starting to get into position. Heinrich going to throw out just a single set of heat-seeking missiles. The Troll is just chilling here with a Troll Trap at the ready. Remember, there's no Queen of Pain ultimate. There's also no egg. 2 of the big ultimates on cooldown. And it looks like Arcanys will take the leftovers.
Yeah.
But MVP got a lot of those creeps.
It really does feel that way. You look at Queen of Pain, who's still topping up the net worth. Drow not far behind. And the overall lead still looking pretty good for the MVP Phoenix squad right now.
They also forced Heinrich to come to the fights. And so as a result, he's not really accelerating his farm. Still 2.5k gold down on that Queen of Pain. BOT in towards mid. Queen of Pain scouting this Dire Woods and actually looking for a wraparound here, perhaps. Ultimate cooling down in 30. BKB is about 500 gold off. And speaking of wraparounds, March will jump in. Gets the call on Dave. Mystic Flare. Easy kill. Now the silence, but he does Yules that one off. Might have to jump inside of the Supernova. He'll do it being focused, but not particularly quickly. K-Phoenix, nope, can't get it off in time. The egg will pop. Phoenix comes back for round 2. Nuts in trouble. He'll get bashed. He'll be brought down as well. In the meantime, the Axe and Queen of Pain still working as a tandem. Skywrath to buy back. They want Mighty Savior. Will there be a bash? Nope, not going to happen. He's silenced. He's on the run. Blink and call are ready. They might even just go for a blink dunk. Nope, the call's what they want. QO gets the kill, and that was with the egg going off. It almost was a lot worse.
Phoenix did all he could that fight. He's just like, guys, do anything. Like, he single-handedly got like a triple kill there. He did 90% of the damage output, it feels like, from Arcanys. Did everything perfectly. I think got kept alive by a bit of RNG. The uphill miss coming out from the Joe Ranger.
It was one more attack, I believe, to kill the egg.
It was one attack short, and there was at least one miss, and it looked like even a couple misses.
At the same time, there were like 4 or 5 auto attacks up to the high ground. So
it's going to balance out at some point. So still a 1 team fight for MVP. Queen of Pain just a bit too large. Now picks up the BKB. Didn't even need the BKB for that fight. This is getting a bit worrisome here. The Tinker going down again. Has picked up his point boost now, going towards that kind of Bloodstone build we're seeing more and more, and kind of your standard Tinker build nowadays. But this is just nice kind of mana pull, survivability, gives you a lot of HP, but takes a while to build up to.
MVP are decent at ending the game. They have the Drow, the Chen as well, but outside of these 2 heroes, nobody else pushes particularly hard. So even if Tinker's down, he'll have a decent amount of time left to get himself back. They're prepping bottom. They've got an Invis Disruptor hiding out on the side shop. Moving into position as well will be Bach. Almost level 15.
That is crazy. Yeah, he's ridiculously high level and fun.
And with the Midas, he's 5-2 and 8. He's been involved in 13 out of their 17 kills. Compare that to the Queen of Pain, only involved in 8 out of 18. And obviously, QO's having a fantastic game in his own right. Yep. It's like you said, it really feels like Bach has been the man carrying them, along with Boombax, who's had a great Disruptor game early, now, though, struggling to maintain his impact. He was 3-1 and 3, now down to 3-4 and 6.
Well, at some point, Heinrich's gonna have to come online and start pulling some of his own weight, as he's getting starting to get there on the Tinker. Troll Warlord, similar story, has a BKB now for this next upcoming team fight. Both Queen of Pain and Troll, and Arcanys with some good vision down here. They've got an Observer Ward on the high ground above Roshan, and importantly down in the kind of entry to the Radiant jungle, so they can see a lot of the MVP squad and what they're up to.
MVP, meanwhile, have their own lane ward mid, but nobody's there to be scouted out. Currently, they're playing in the dark. They only see this troll. Now, there are solutions for the BKB. There's the blink call. Also, if they get that off before he's able to BKB, Mystic Flare will end him. Not to mention that Queen of Pain ulti. So, decent solutions for this troll BKB. Not a game winner on its own by any means, but could be the item that baits out quite a few MVP nukes and changes the course of a fight. Arcanys hunting now as a pack. They roam viciously through this MVP jungle, but I guess the ward is not that vicious. In the end, that's all they're going to get. Now they back off towards bottom lane. Oh, March. Could be trouble. Dive on through. Static Storm deployed. He pops the Blade Mail, though. Boombax going to take a lot of damage from this one. Now the egg even forced out. They'll get the kill. And Queen of Pain over the top. Kaboom. Quick kill. Then gets glimpsed back towards top lane, but damage already done. It's like a free split push teleport.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The Queen of Pain just blinked in, so was going to be in a bit of a dangerous spot with the blink on cooldown. May have got stunned by the egg and could be focused down, but I guess it's like
it's one of those you see the most farmed here in the game jumping and you just panic glimpse.
Disrupt is like, it may save my life, and that's always like your first thought there, so I don't think they would have actually killed Quap. Quap's very tanky, had a BKB as well, which she didn't actually end up using, so I think killing Quap wasn't actually going to happen. But
yeah, without the BKB, it might have been possible.
Arcanys do get the bottom tier 1, that's where Quap being pushed out of the lane, not having a TP, does work in their favor. And they are pinging some of these MVP heroes, but they're just going to get back and continue their farm.
Troll Wolf TP on to base. QO, meanwhile, mid lane just quietly split pushing. He's not been much of a factor in the fights, but it's what you want out of your Drow when there's this much pressure. Just split push, make sure you continue to give your team the maximum possible right quickly. Just let that Queen of Pain do the heavy lifting. QO's shoulders have been broad so far this game. He'll grab a bounty and heads back towards mid. Let's see if they look for some sort of engagement here. Arcanys for the time being, hanging back, hugging the tier 2. And they are playing with, as you mentioned a moment ago, pretty good vision, all things considered. These two wards really do give them quite an idea where MVP are, but in spite of that, they're still scared. This Quap is just out of control.
And the Radiant Vision is very limited. They've got one really good ward that spots the Ancients, which is going to be something which Arcanys look to farm quite frequently because they've got the Troll, and they're somewhat limited about where they can farm in the lanes because there's so much pick-off potential from MVP with the Axe, Blink Initiation, so they're going to be looking to use their Ancients quite a bit. MVP hoping for a Roche respawn, actually camping out a lot of heroes here in the pit. Walk past a lot of dire vision though, so Arcanys have a good idea of what's up, probably well in the know that there is a ward up there as well. Now that was just used. Sentry ward near the secret shop, just out of range too. Almost gets off a D ward, but may need some additional sentries to kind of keep the control around the Roche pit, with Roshan respawning any second now.
I'll blink into the Roche pit as you mentioned, and it's not actually up yet, but based on the timing, you know it's coming any moment now. So they begin that delicate dance. MVP starting to make their way over to the pit, but dangerous to walk in there against the Tinker and the Phoenix. If he gets a good high ground egg, it could just turn the tides of this Roshan fight.
Especially with Phoenix getting very close to level 16. And with the Blink Dagger, getting that high ground egg onto the cliff, very easy. You can use the dive purely for damage output and then use that blink afterwards to get that perfect positioning on your Supernova, which often the two ideas sometimes conflict, where you're using your dive to hit heroes and maximize your damage, but then also trying to get the good Supernova placement. You sometimes can't combine the two, which is where the blink can be really nice. And Phoenix, there we go, level 16.
Oh no! Oh. Blink! Scream on 3, then the Quap bolt as well. It's a dunk. Oh, what an incredible initiation from March. And finally, GoDz, he actually lives through an initiation. Heinrich will be forced to Bloodstone deny. Oh my goodness, what a jump by March.
Vision, just so crucial.
This ward. That ward spot is always strong, and normally not that strong, but they'll take it. They'll definitely take it.
MVP take a big swing in their favor. They're going to blink themselves into Roshan to probably take a straightforward Aegis here. There is still 4 heroes dead, but not for much longer. They got to get in and get out fast. It looks like KP going to feel confident he can do it. Has got the Alpha Wolf for the damage aura. TP's coming back. The rest of the MVP team are like pressuring mid lane, so at this point KP's just soloing.
Oh no, he's been caught out. He maybe can rearm and TP. The blade mail being popped now. Heinrich trapped in the trees. He has to go for the TP. Too late. He's going to have to deny again with the Bloodstone. Now down to 3 charges. I mean, it's nice that you can rearm the Bloodstone, man, but it's starting to add up. His nuts will get caught, but it takes a Phoenix ultimate just to get that lonely kill, and it's space created because in the meantime, K-Phoenix, not to be confused with the Phoenix hero, will grab the Aegis.
They're chasing after him. They really want to hunt him down. They have a decent idea of where he's headed, and may see him just get rid of the Aquila to get a TP and get the hell out of here. Looks like KP, yeah, he's not going to get caught out. At least not yet. It's still time. He hasn't TP'd yet.
There's still time for you to jinx him.
Yeah. They're so close.
In case you didn't know, this Tinker does indeed have a Bloodstone.
Ooh, they were half a second off catching him there. That was very close. They kill him twice, too. If they get that glimpse, he's got no BKB. I guess he could possibly blink out on the respawn, but he still has no TP. His TP's on cooldown.
I think what Volat's trying to tell us here is that Heinrich may be running out of Bloodstone charges soon at this rate.
Yeah.
Down to 3. Going the wrong way. He's 1-5-3. You know, it even looks like a good Tinker game. The laning stage may be a bit difficult, but in the mid game there are very few heroes that reliably catch him. Axe has caught him once this game with the blink call, and that was kind of an awkward position for a Tinker to even put himself in. It's surprising to see him have so little success moving forward. And again, QO, speaking of success, this guy's having it. He'll find the first kill to start the fight. Now jumps onto Dave with the Drow Aura. He does so much damage. Brings down another hero. Speaking of Drow, I mean, it feels like K-Phoenix has done little this game, but simply not dying and not getting caught has made the difference. They lose 2 more. Clean assassination from QO as they'll back off for structures.
Drow, one of those few carries that doesn't get the best stats as far as kills, deaths, assists go, because you're not a great fighter in general. But yeah, as you said, the aura all across the board. Everyone's getting this plus 50 or so damage is just huge. The Queen of Pain especially is reaping the benefits now. 9 kills, 2 deaths, 5 assists, and QO, Ags, Orchid, BKB, and 4k gold. He is just out of control right now. See another big item coming soon for him, and Arcanys just don't really have any answers in sight for this Queen of Pain.
Look to find Heinrich here. He blinks into the tree line. They have an idea where he is. Gust will hit him. He blinks again. Do they get the jump? No, no one else here to follow up now. He'll be able to retreat himself out, march off in the bottom side of the map, but still, Tinker barely seeing creeps at this point. Yet to pick up an item aside from, I guess he got his new Soul Rain, but that is small consolation. Yeah.
He's got to be a bit worried for his team. They can still stall and defend high ground for a while. It's not like a... could theoretically, one bad fight and you lose Rax, you could just lose the game off of that. But if Arcanys at least play things reasonably well and execute, they will be able to at least stall this game and get to like a 40-45 minute stage where they've got their next level of items because of the power of the Tinker being able to defend high ground. But MVP is starting to gear up for that high ground seat. It's going to get a BKB on your Axe. Your Queen of Pain going to start working on probably a Scythe of Vice for some additional pick-off potential. The Orchid doesn't cut it for the Phoenix because he can use it off, so that's where a Hex will be the nice answer to that.
Heinrich thinks about TPing in mid and the certain death. Then thinks better of it. He'll go bottom instead. Well, BKB comes out on the Drow, and it may be time to think about a high ground assault fairly soon here. We've got a pretty commanding advantage at this point. A 12k gold lead, a 20k experience lead. It is tricky versus the Tinker, but you've got the Axe Blade Mail, you've got triple BKBs, the Mech, Hand of God. Soon they're going to have the Chen Eggs, which often doesn't really make much of a difference, but this game could be a huge item to pick up.
Yeah. When you're looking to go for that high ground siege, and when you're on the aggressive, like you're playing from behind and you somehow farm a Chen Egg, it's like, okay, not going to do too much. But if you're trying to push in siege, having that bonus HP in the Granite Golem is can do wonders. Just being on the front lines as well. A creep that doesn't take damage from the March of the Machines will cause Arcanys some issues. So for now, they are going to go for that outer tier 2 tower. Feeling pretty confident just as things stand. There's a complete Scythe of Vice for QO, so he's got that next big item as well.
The double damager, and he's landing 400 plus damage auto attacks. Now make it 500 plus damage auto attacks. With a Scythe online, he can solo kill this Tinker from full HP. Doesn't even need a +1 to prevent that TP out any longer. Map control starting to slacken here for Arcanys. As Boombax moves into his jungle, they get off. No, actually they missed the troll slow. Just a solitary auto attack, but hardly even tickles the ice armored axe. They will glimpse him on back. BKBs to dodge it. It'll continue his retreat.
Still MVP, very much the ones in control. BKB being forced out, even a 10-second BKB, not the biggest issue for them. It's still just on their axe. It's not like it's a core hero who late game you really value having that long duration BKB. And in general, this is a game where it feels like the 5-second BKB will be enough to get you out of a static storm, enough to just negate some of the Tinker or the Phoenix damage. It's not like you're against a Tide and you want to have that longest possible duration BKB so you can prevent him from using a Ravage in timely fashion. So I feel this is not the biggest concern for MVP going through their BKB durations. Oh, Scareth, whoa, picks up a hood. That's a...
If they get a pipe, Arcanys, what do they have?
This
they have
Febby
Phoenix
Scareth,
magic damage. They have a troll who's never going to be allowed to just walk in and right-click. Hasn't done it at all this game. No Aghanim's Death Ward on Dabe, and good luck actually getting off a Death Ward. I don't think we've seen more than one this game. Yeah. This pipe is potentially the nail in the coffin for Arcanys.
It's a nice little pickup and making it very clear like their intent to kind of end this game ideally with that pipe timing. They'll have hopefully the next Aegis as far as MVP concerned, and they'll have the pipe, mech, Ag Scepter from a Chen up in 50 gold, so all they need is that Granite Golem, which isn't there just yet. They've got some Black Drakes, but even taking, I feel, this is one of those games because you're pushing into a Tinker, having the Black Dragon is not too bad, assuming you still want a Granite Golem, but having like 2 Ancients is actually okay this game, despite these Ancients not really being your ideal Ancient.
Yeah, not to mention the heals. Just being able to heal your team every 30 seconds. You do some chip damage, you back off, you heal, you go again. You don't really have to force the issue too much. You don't have to worry about backing off all the way to base. You can just stick around, spam the pipe, spam the Chen heals, and consistently whittle those towers down. It's going to be up to Arcanys either to find some ganks soon, which
he got it.
They have been unable to do, or just to accept their fate. The Ags is online. The Granite Golem snagged.
With the Black Dragon.
This probably is go time. Looking at their current gold, is there anything else they really need?
The crazy thing, like, you've got two big Ancients with 2.5k plus HP that can both be healed back to full with the Hand of God. That is some very durable front lines. They don't do the biggest amount of damage, but Troll has to put himself in a very risky position to try and kill them off.
I think MVP just go here, GoDz. They could wait for the next Roche if they really want to be safe.
It doesn't feel necessary, but
I don't think they need it. That would probably be the safe, smart play, but beyond that, there's really no big item they're waiting for. And frankly, giving the Tinker, Phoenix, Troll trio time to farm is a bit risky, as much as they're ahead. MVP, if this goes late enough, may struggle to deal with those heroes later on. They want to push their advantage, and it seems that they are going to start to tighten the noose, move in towards the top lane. They'll pop March down here. Maybe going to tank some March. Now he'll back off, blink forward from the Troll.
I guess not. They don't quite have the pipe. That's the one thing they're missing here. So about 150 gold away for Febby.
Oh, he's already got the
Skywrath.
headdress.
Yeah, he's getting there. With pipe, mech, Hand of God, and they're pinging out Roshan now. So Roshan will come up around with the pipe, so they may as well, I guess, pick it up along the way. And we'll see Cure now, gem in hand. He's looking to do some check the wards here, make sure that the dire vision is somewhat limited. There are some Arcanys wards up. Pretty hard to deward one near the top river, but the one in the jungle, if he ever comes near, we'll be able to take out.
Roche is online. Let's see if Arcanys look to contest this one. It's been a quiet game here as of late, and they've had just the one kill on the Chen in about the past 10 minutes. Outside of that, just consistently getting out farmed, getting out pushed, falling behind in experience. Sure, they're farming, but it doesn't seem like they're farming well enough. Now the pipe is out on Skywrath. Almost all the damage of Arcanys mitigated by this. The only spells you really have to work with are your Death Ward and auto attacks from the Troll. I don't see that being enough.
And from the Radiant side, like a Troll the BKB, they can still bring him down. They've got good right-click damage, especially from the Queen of Pain and the Drow. Even the Skywrath, he's got plus 96 on top of his 115 damage already, thanks to the Drow Aura. They are good and ready to go. Aegis will be picked up by your Drow, their main kind of right-click damage. They'll probably make their way just straight down mid lane. They even, let's say, leave the gem on the ground. I guess they decide they don't need it.
Okay.
All right.
I think March wanted one of his teammates to grab it since he's the one that's going in, likely to die. I mean,
drop your stick, March! Drop your stick! Quick!
They don't want to carry it. They want him to sacrifice that gem to the gods.
Well, he didn't have a stick. He had a wand, which he dropped, so good on you, March.
Yeah, I feel like they should just be giving it to Skywrath. I'm not sure why Febby doesn't want it, but oh well. March is going to just let the team do the pushing. He'll sit back. No need to initiate when they have the pipe, the Granite Golem, not even breaking through that pipe yet this first March. Rather underwhelming. QO and K Phoenix lay into the tower. An attack speed slow will help, but not enough the first Hand of God comes out. Maybe they back and wait for the pipe to cool down. Maybe they just say screw it, man, and go right in. At least one more creep wave to wait for. QO gonna BKB. Oh, no, actually he's gonna BKB and go in on Boobax. Nice glimpse, bro. Now the silence coming on to Bach. He will manage to Yules it off. Goes for the Blink Supernova in a good position, but what does it really matter? Even with the Supernova burning the entire duration, it seems inadequate to get any kills. MVP brought fairly low, but they have another Hand of God in just a few seconds. There you go. The heal comes out. Back to full HP again for your Granite Golem. Begins clobber in time. Everybody healthy, surviving for now. The pipe cooling down in 5. One lane of Rex down. They probably, actually maybe they don't even back. I was going to say if they could reset to get the creep wave here, but it seems it's not needed. MVP just bull rushing straight for a game 1 win. They look to be in complete control. of this series.
They can just brute force this. There's not enough damage on the Arcanys side, even with the Tinker. There's your pipe back up, and this magic damage ain't going to cut it here. QO goes in. He wants some revenge after his previous death and buyback, and it's not going to be just one. They're going to go for Mighty Savior instead. Get the dunk on him. The Phoenix actually surviving, and Death Ward nicely cancelled by your Skywrath Yules. MVP. This game is in the bag now.
Arcanys not wanting to GG out, getting nearly fountain camped here. They'll lose their Aegis, they'll lose their Skywrath, but a Blade Call comes in from a Blade Mailed March who gets Mighty Savior getting pushed around in the middle of the enemy team. Now trying to retreat himself out. Dunk, number one. Are we going to see a double dunker? We are. Maybe even looking for a triple here. The call on two. Nope, doesn't even get it off. He auto-attacks his way to the triple kill.
That's always the sad days for Axe when you run out of mana for your dunks, you know.
Arcanys
you hate to see it.
They just get manhandled here in game number one.
That was just good execution. This is how you fit your 10 to your draft. You have to get ahead and just keep on pulling away. The Queen of Pain fits in really nicely with the pick for that reason, because it's such a snowball-based hero and just good dominance. They never really gave Tinker a chance to really do too much this game.
Very one-sided game from MVP. They take care of business. Tinker died a lot, and it feels like some of these heroes didn't really have much of an impact to get this game. I look at the Troll in particular as a hero who got a lot of safe lane farm. He just didn't really accomplish anything. Tried to go for the one Roche, and that ended up getting stolen and taken away by MVP. Maybe not his fault as an individual, but the hero just did not seem to do much with his farm.
Yeah, that was a tough moment for Arcanys when they lost that Roshan. But even before that, I feel like the Troll a couple times tried to come to fights and died. Like, he would trade his life for the Axe. I feel like that happened 2 or 3 times, and the Axe was kind of really poor for a long while, but the Troll was the much bigger hero there. They couldn't afford to keep losing him. Phoenix, to me, was the